So, are we ready, AdaBC?
We're counting down right now,
Oh,
baby.
we're counting down! As you can see, I'm very excited for this series. As mentioned, these players have been playing a lot of HotS Swarm. I've been watching both of their streams, actually. So I'm quite excited for this, AdaBC. So, predictions, AdaBC.
I'm going to say that Beastyqt takes this game, but then Grubby comes back and wins the series.
Ooh. All right, let's jump into game then. We are now ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at map number 1. All right, so up here, spawning in the top left is the blue Terran. Of course, it is Empire's Beastyqt, a cute guy. And Trads, come on, pull your weight. Trads,
undefined.
Trads, pull your own weight. There's a 3-man team here. There we go. There he is, Alexander Kristic, 22-year-olds at Empire Beastyqt on Twitter, and has been a member of Team Empire since very early in 2011. That's quite remarkable considering we're at the start or past the beginning of 2013. And down in the bottom right, his opponent, that's right, it is Grubby, Manuel Sneiserhauser. 26 years old, of course, at Twitter is at @followgrubby, the king of orcs, a 6 times world champion in Warcraft 3, still without a title in StarCraft 2, but he did manage to claim his second place, or a second place, his first ever second place, the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore a couple of months ago. Look at this, AdaBC. I know you're a Terran player, and I'm sure you're liking Beastyqt's opening already, taking gas, and we're going to be seeing a bit of aggression early on. There's actually very normal. Actually, looking at Protoss and Terran usually always go Barracks gas now, because the amount of options they have available in terms of aggression is so big. Likewise, I think Grubby's going to open up double gas too, because the amount of options for Protoss in this game are also there. The Stargate, your Oracle, whether it be Void Ray, whether it be early tech, Twilight Council DTs are now cheaper, or whether he just uses very sentry heavy. Because remember, in StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, you don't need to research hallucination, and that has become a very important fact in scouting for Protoss.
Be interesting to see what Grubby wants to do here, throwing down just the pylon, suspecting... I guess he just wants to delay the
supply depot, because even if he was to add something onto that barracks, it doesn't fit. So it would have come down onto the ramp, so it wouldn't have been able to do that. But we do have Beastyqt out there with a SCV looking for a proxy factory, fireworks. That's how we're opening game number 1 here. Likewise, we do have Grubby opening double gas in Heart of the Swarm. This is becoming very normal to open up double gas for Protoss, just because it's so easy to do so. You have so many options. And there comes a tech lab down. What do you think we're going to be seeing out of BC from Terran side, Beastyqt?
I mean, the only reason to get the tech lab is just to head towards Marauders these days because of the new Reaper change. So I really don't know what kind of timing this is going to be.
Marauder Hellion, could it be, by the looks of it? He's not only on 1 gas, remember, so he's not looking to go too far up in tech. He's going to be spending a lot of it on minerals. He's got enough gas for a Marauder concussor shells. I think we're going to be seeing Hellions from that factory here. And a bit of a mix-up here. Proxy factories should be starting a Hellion. Widowmine, Heart of the Swarm. So this is going to be a nice rush here from Beastyqt. And well, Grubby, starting with a Stalker, does have a probe on the Xel'Naga Tower. Is going to be looking around though. Is he going to go down to this south side where potentially this factory could be scouted? It doesn't look like it. He's going to go to the Xel'Naga Tower. He does go for a very early mothership core though, and getting that mothership core early will help getting with the photon overcharge for the Nexus. And Grubby already sees Marauder, he already sees Marines, he knows that something's up, but he doesn't know about this factory. And those Widow Mines now can one-shot gateway units. So we're going to be seeing a bit of an explosive start here by Beastyqt. And the Nexus on the Natural's not even near finishing, so that photon overcharge isn't going to be useful. He will have Time Warp, though, to slow the units down, to maybe micro against it a little bit better. But alright, he's seen it, he knows what's going to happen. Well, he's already seen the Widow Mine too, so this immediately throws down the robo as you see Grubby saying, "Holy crap! Holy crap!"
And the Widow Mine doesn't get a shot off though, but it's going to be able to zone out.
Though, and if it picks up and tries to move, it's going to get shut down. But there comes a bunker, and Beastyqt is trying to contain Grubby. He brings down this Nexus, and this could actually work. Oh, the Stalker almost in range of that Widow Mine. A second one there, and he's almost fortified this. I don't think Grubby can even save his Nexus.
Yeah, with the bunker finishing 2 Widow Mines, cancels the Nexus. And actually behind this, of course, Command Center already halfway done.
And Grubby throws down 3 extra gateways. He's probably going to build an Observer number 1, straight to Warp Prism, and just go for it here. He's too far behind. He can't play catch-up. The repair comes down onto the Widowmine, which you can do. Observer number 1, I think he's going to go straight for the Warp Prism number 2. But the problem is, can Grubby break this? He's got Widowmines to face. He's got bunkers that are going to be back at home. Stim is on the way as well. So, you know, I like to say the ticking bomb is ticking here for Grubby because he needs to do something. He needs to do it fast.
Yeah, I mean, if he can take out most of these units for free here, that's going to help a lot. And, of course, the Stalkers outrange the Widowmine, so he's just got to be careful. Doesn't want to get too close.
Just send him home now. The job's done. You know, the Widowmines can make it home. Of course, Grubby's going to be distracted by the bunker. Needs to get that down first before he can even look at taking a Nexus. But does he have a Warp Prism? He doesn't yet. So is he going to attempt to play from behind here? What? Like, Robotics Bay and a Nexus.
You know, I think he's just banking on the fact that, you know, it took a lot to do that kind of attack. So he says, hey, I can just apply pressure and transition out of it. I was kind of thinking, though, we might see a pylon here and then a big warping, but I guess not seeing the command center may have made him
I think
not want all in.
If he'd seen the command center, he could have gone for the Warp Prism, knowing that he was maybe too far behind. But upon not seeing it, realizing that, well, maybe he's not that far ahead, then maybe he's okay to play from this position. He's not that far behind in supply. He will be a little bit behind in terms of economy, but does have a decent amount of units. And remember, this recall, if anything does go wrong here, can easily go home. He's got double time warp available. You know, this could be actually quite devastating. But with a bunker down, we actually got a shot off there. Double shot, including the splash damage of 40 damage. The Widowmine does an initial 125, and then 40 damage after that, 20 units around it. And, well, he loses another Stalker, so this just plain and simple hasn't worked.
Yeah, I mean, the units loss cap kind of shows it right here. Beastyqt just playing a great game. The worker count, 36 to 32, so not too far ahead, but the 2 mules are what's really going to put Beastyqt ahead here.
And, you know, where does Grubby play from this? He's got the Robotics Bay down. He's gone straight to Colossus. That could be an interesting surprise. Consider he's chrono boosting into the thermal lance. He wants to make them useful really fast in this game. And then combined with taking the gases super fast and early, he's got 0 sentries. He's not looking to defend anything early because he knows now that Beastyqt's on the back foot. Beastyqt has no idea what's going on, so he's obviously going to send out an SCV to try and find out. But what we could see from Grubby here, if he gets 2-3 Colossus out and there's no Vikings, there's no basically any defense for the Colossus, then Grubby could actually very easily snipe this victory. But it's going to come down to actually very normal Wings of Liberty style Terran versus Protoss now. Of course, the Widowmines are going to be a pain in the bum to deal with, but Grubby is going to attempt to try and get in there. And Beastyqt spawning a very early, or looking for a very early third. It's not going to see anything. Likewise, Grubby getting in there with the Observer. Sees the starport down. It's not the best thing to see when you're trying to do this, because obviously, you know, the option of Vikings and Medivacs already out there is highly likable.
Yeah, with 3 more gateways, he's going up to 7 gates, so he's either going to save up and make a Nexus or go for it. Surprisingly,
he's going for it, man.
He is still producing probes.
He's got no forges. So how many probes is he at?
Yeah, he's got 46.
He should stop now. He's got no forges. He's got no longevity in this game. 7 gateways. He's stopped probe production now. This is it. He's got 3rd Colossus on the way. There are Vikings in production too, so there's +1 about to finish. Combat Shield's about to finish. Grubby, obviously playing from behind the majority of this game, now has to deal with the fact that if he moves out, Beastyqt moves in now with the new Medivac speed boost, which is going to be a pain in the bum. Of course, Ignite Afterburners going to shoot in as Scan reveals the main army, and there is the drop. An attempt on the natural 2 places the Widowmines unscanned. I think Grubby may not have seen them. Photon overcharge on the Nexus there will protect it for 60 seconds. Those Widowmines have not been spotted there by Grubby. And Time Warp comes down. Mothership Core also fails. He's always got boost, the Ignite booster to get out there, Afterburns. And the Widowmines actually decided to unborrow there. Gives Grubby a bit of a head start as he's moving out. But do you think that Beastyqt can hold this? He should be able to, I think.
Yeah, I think he's done a good job buying himself time. He's got the Vikings out now, and he's seen, of course, the Colossus tech, and I think he got a pretty good scout off just a ton of gateways, and of course he didn't see a probe, I think, at this 3rd base. So.
And you can easily click on units to see no upgrades too, and be like, well, you know, like, wow, Grubby's going to 4. He has started probes though, but did he lose any in that drop there?
I don't believe so.
He's up to 53. That's quite a lot of probes, and he is destroying the rocks, so it looks like he may take a 3rd here. And well, I guess the threat of these drops, especially with the Ignite Afterburners on these new Medivacs, it's going to be very difficult to actually push out and defend back at home. So it looks like Grubby's just going to slap down Double Forge. He's going to play from this position. And Beastyqt's got the world in his hands at the moment.
Yeah, there's no armory or second engineering bay on the way yet, though. So Grubby, as long as he chrono boosts well, his Colossus is kind of just so high that he can kind of now continue on with Twilight. So it's not too bad. Another drop in just poking.
Just poking around there, looking to do a bit of damage where he can, but there is a 30 or 20 supply lead for Beastyqt. And the game will start to stabilize now. Grubby's gone on the defensive. He won't really be looking to move out. He's got to protect double forward. He's got to protect his bases. 3 bases now. He's spread out quite thin. And for now, Grubby's going to sit back and hold tight. But the thing that he's going to have to start to get ready for out of BC is going to be when the Viking count gets too high. And that's going to be soon. He's already at 7. He's making 2 at a time. He's at 9 now. Or he's at 8. 8. Stalker's going down as well. And what we're going to see happen is a very normal Wings of Liberty style push before before High Templar come out. And that's the thing that could actually destroy Grubby in this game, because without Storm, this is going to be a very, very, very difficult push to hold.
Yeah, I think he really just needs to get that 1-1 out. It'll make a big difference. And these Widow Mines are kind of the X factor here. If they can get some good shots off, makes it a lot harder to engage with Zealots, which are usually kind of the meat shield, per se.
Yeah, and, you know, with especially scans going down, Vikings can pick up observers like that. It's, you know, going to be a little bit difficult here for Grubby to hold on to this. And Beastyqt opening well. Scan goes down. The observer's still with the army, though, and Grubby does know the composition. 1-1 almost done. The Templar Archives is on its way, but I don't think it's going to be there in time, unfortunately, because of the amount of Vikings. Colossus are almost going to get one shot, and great position, and he gets one. One Colossus falls down, likewise an observer. Widowmine's getting into position 2. There is no detection here for Grubby. Another Colossus falls down, and Grubby is finding it difficult. He's broken down the rocks to try and hold this position, but without Storm, I can't see him doing it. He's keeping the Colossus at the back away from the Vikings. Beastyqt scans ahead of time. Good force fields again by Grubby, holding on for as much as possible here. Beastyqt wants this win. He's got 1-1, but so has Grubby now, and it looks like Beastyqt can't break through. He's going to try and drop around the back, get to the main base, pull Grubby out of position, and then look to get in there. Grubby has to try and focus. Does he get Storm now? Does he build units with that gas? Well, we're about to find out as another scan does go down. And here comes the medevac on its crack, or should I say Ignite Afterburners once again. Going to jump into the main base. Forges exposed, mineral line exposed. Grubby completely out of position to defend this. He's not defending this anytime soon, and this game could end soon, Trance. As well, the drop comes down. And, well, it's going to be difficult for Grubby.
Yeah, just no units in position here, and Grubby knows he can't really bring anything towards the back here, so he's just doing his best, relying purely on Zealots here. And once again, this position here is just so hard to defend with Colossus when Vikings are just so ready to hover over that dead space. And
you got 2-2 on the way, or +2 attack at least now for Beastyqt, zoning in. Grubby does have a supply lead, though, which is kind of surprising considering the circumstances in this game, but well, the problem still remains is he doesn't have anything to fight this army correctly yet. I definitely recommend or suggest he has Storm on the way. There it is coming down. War Prison to harass back. But Grubby defended. He didn't die.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Surprisingly. Very surprisingly there.
And I mean, the +2 attack, as you mentioned, going to be finished for Beastie, but Grubby's not too far behind, and he can keep chrono boosting, now adding the 4th base. I really think this medevac here really makes it so hard for Grubby to move out. This game kind of demonstrating how much map control Terran is really able to have in this matchup, thanks to
they can expand. I mean, compared to Wings of Liberty, they can expand first, like they could in Wings of Liberty, but they can hold it for longer because they keep you under pressure for longer. And like you said, have map control. But right now, Grubby's taking it back. He's taken the Zelnogger Towers. He's taken a 4th base, which has not been scouted. Keep in mind, but I'm sure Beastyqt knows in the back of his mind that giving Grubby this room to breathe, he didn't actually, you know, risk it. He could have gone in to try to kill Grubby there, but he was confident that he could keep it going a little bit longer and look for a better opportunity, because it wasn't clear that he could win that, even though it looked for us as observers and spectators that the Viking counter with no Storm, but he didn't know there was no Storm at the same time. You know, there's a lot of variables going into this game, but now Grubby makes his movement out here, still has to be very, very careful, does have Storm, but he doesn't have any High Templar with this army, so it's still a very, very vulnerable army to Vikings, which there's plenty of.
Yeah, Viking count's still at 12, and that's a pretty scary number. He's only just started this ship weapon, so no upgrades yet, but Colossus die fast.
And it looks like Beastyqt did scout the 4th base with Nessie V there. So, yeah, he's seen it. So he now knows that he's on 3 and Grubby's on 4. And that's going to make him push out now because he can't allow Grubby to keep going. But look at Grubby. He's not building Storm. He's adding more and more Colossus upon seeing the Ghost, the normal transition, the normal point. And he's got 2 High Templar, not with his army, but in the middle line, he doesn't have enough energy? Is that why he didn't storm? I
No,
don't know.
he did. This
He just missed it then.
he just spaced out. I'm not too sure. It does land one storm there, but definitely not the damage he could have done.
And Grubby does have 2-2 now with this army. And, well, Beastyqt starting to move out. Has given Grubby a little bit of room here with the Warp Prism getting into the main base, and High Temples can easily warp in. Zealous has got 1,200 minerals, but he doesn't have any supply to do so. So Grubby moves forward with his army. Sentry's vulnerable here. And Grubby knows it too, landing those force fields down. The Vikings again in superior position over the Colossus. Can easily shoot down, but blink forward there by Grubby. Zealots on the natural harassing as well. And oh, you will eventually see the first real engagement of this game. Both of them dancing together in the middle of the map, looking for the better engagement, looking for the better probability to come out the winner here. But both of them are banking a lot of money. Another blink forward, another Viking goes down, as well as, no, not a medivac does manage to survive. But do you think Beastyqt is just giving Grubby too much room here? Should have been a bit more aggressive. That's what the vibe I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah, I really agree with you. It's really worth noting that the worker count is 52 to 69. So Beastie's army here is much, much bigger.
Oh, no, observing with the army. And the Vikings get straight in there. There's no storm either. So once again, Beastie's army. Oh, there's the storm. And it lands a good one on the Vikings. And if Grubby can... No, and blinking forward is a bit too dangerous. But that was a... Those High Templar saved Grubby there a little bit, but now Grubby seems to have the superior army. He's got the confidence, and looks like he's headed back.
That hallucinated Phoenix is not gonna.
That's not gonna do it, really, is it? There's a Warp Prism on the third. Is it of Beastyqt or the?
No, just the Observer. The Warp Prism did. Oh, the third.
Look at me, King. Nice harassment by Grubby. And well,
yeah, it's pulling everything back here. So once again, Grubby just going to keep kind of getting a bigger and bigger bank.
Yeah, and now 3-3 is about to finish for Grubby. So this is excellent. This is great news considering how far behind, or not really how far behind, but what kind of position he was in the early mid stages of this game. But we do have +3 armor about to finish now from Beastyqt, and he has got a very scary army. Doesn't have the best upgrades on his Vikings. Only +1 attack, I think it is. Grubby though, with the Bank of the World, is about to move out, and we could see our first fight here.
Yeah, and I think most important here is actually that Grubby doesn't have an observer with his army. The one observer is just out of position right here. Actually, 2 in production, so I think he's realized that cloak ghosts are going to be a big problem here. Interestingly enough, also mixing in some PTs.
That's right, trying to get into the harassment, or the Mineral Alliance for harassment. And remember, this is a best of 3 King of the Hill, so winner will take on $125 like that, and also go up against the next opponent, which is going to be TLO. He will be playing in the second best of 3 here as this game normalizes a little bit, as we do have nukes on the way. And a very passive game from both players here, for sure. A passive yet aggressive. A passive-aggressive game, I think, is probably the best way to describe this, because they haven't taken a big fight, but there's been pokes and jabs all over.
Yeah, exactly. Just a lot of being out on the map. Still no huge engagement. Both players just being so cautious.
And once again, as scan goes onto the army, a lot of Colossus there. These Vikings are going to have to do their work if they're going to bring these down. And Grubby moves forward, and he puts a couple of Stalkers in the mirror line, but not offering his entire army to be slaughtered here. But to be honest, I think Grubby's probably looking to take the fight and probably have the lead in this fight with the army composition he has, the amount of money he has in the bank compared to Beastyqt. The harassment from Grubby has been absolutely amazing compared to minimal from Beastie, which has allowed Grubby to bank 4,500 minerals. So it's allowed him to bank 2,000 gas, and another blink forward to try and jab onto those Vikings. And well, Grubby patiently just picking apart anything and everything he can find from Beastyqt, but we might have the first engagement. The Cloak Ghost get maybe a single EMP off, but not the most, and the Vikings go down like that. And Grubby's army absolutely dominating this fight. There's nothing to bring the Colossus down. The Marauders have to get in close, and they do not survive very long up close. And Grubby, with the amount of money, just immediately walks back a new army, and is at 162 supply. Good game, and Grubby, very surprisingly after the start he had, takes map number 1 there. Any thoughts, Adabisi, before we take a quick break?
Not too much to say. I mean, we just kind of saw the game play out, and Grubby was able to just kind of squeak by in so many points. There's that one point where we thought he might have been dead, and he hung on, and from there just gained momentum.
He was actually playing really good,